Farafina 55 TV.
I love Farafina 55 TV.
Farafina 55.
The Pan-African Online TV.
Now you are watching Farafina TV 55.
Farafina 55.
The Pan-African Online TV.
Farafina 55 TV.
Farafina 55 Online TV.
You are watching Farafina 55, the Pan-African Online TV. Stay tuned.
Farafina 55 TV. Switch to Farafina 55 TV. Turn to Farafina 55 TV.
You are watching Farafina 55 TV.
Good afternoon, fellow Liberians. We at Farafina Investment Group Incorporated are pleased to present to you today our online TV called Farafina 55 TV, a station that will avail you the hidden truth and events of our country, Africa, and the world in general. We can assure you that we will give you reliable information. We work in the confines of integrity and credibility will be our path. You're all welcome to Farafina 55 TV, and we can assure you that you have the best of it all.
Offshore operations are challenging, whether in oil and gas or renewables. They entail working under difficult sea conditions at the highest level of project management and engineering. That's just the kind of challenge that motivates us at Jan de Nul Group. It requires the brute force of the largest working vessels in the world, combined with the utmost precision. Strong procedures and discipline, along with the flexibility to develop tailor-made solutions. The ability to be quick and decisive, while maintaining constant awareness on site. And knowing when to stop a job and rethink it. Imagine, think, act. Safety is the top priority on every project, from start-up through final delivery, and across all our offshore services. They include seabed intervention, rock installation and ballasting, cables and umbilicals, and offshore renewables. If required, the 4 services are provided on an EPCI basis. Our versatile dredging fleet and state-of-the-art equipment are essential for executing seabed interventions. Hopper dredgers are equipped with suction pipes that can operate at depths of up to 155 meters. A dynamic tracking system allows the dredge head to follow a predefined trench at low tolerances, resulting in minimum volumes being trenched. For backfilling trenches with sand and gravel, the drag pipe can be used as a fall pipe. Large cutter dredgers are mobilized to tackle the hardest and most difficult soil conditions. In depths of up to 32 meters, backhoe dredgers can excavate trenches. Using these techniques, we have already constructed cofferdams and executed shore pull-ins. The scope of our fleet makes us the partner of choice for all projects needing trenching, pre-sweeping, backfilling, and post-lowering. Jan de Nul Group operates a number of DP2 full pipe installation vessels. The sister ships Simon Stevin and Joseph Plateau are the largest in the world and can each install 32,500 tons of rock on the seabed in one load. Depending on the job specifications, the vessels are loaded with different kinds of rock from carefully selected quarries. Our full pipe vessels can operate in water depths up to 2,000 meters, where the rocks are used to protect and stabilize pipelines and build crossings over existing pipelines and cables. Full pipe vessels are also used to install scour protection around the foundations of offshore structures. The vessel can approach close to the structure and reach critical parts of the seabed underneath it using inclined fall pipes. To stabilize subsea constructions, concrete blocks can be used. Sometimes concrete mattresses are installed as a top layer around offshore foundations, providing a recognized solution to prevent erosion and stabilize the structures. Our offshore vessels also execute the ballasting of gravity-based structures. Large underwater foundations are
Okay, this morning we have our in studio, we have our general manager. He is right here with us, and we have our good visitor, our professor, Dr. Chris Michael. He came from Belgium, and he is with us. He will further introduce himself better. Our general manager first. So, Mr. Manager, you are welcome on the show.
Well, thank you. I'm Benny Diego Lajib Yatir, Vice President and General Manager of Farafina Investment Group. On behalf of the board of Farafina and the CEO and the entire management, I would like to welcome our guest, our father, Professor Dr. Chris Michael.
Thank you very much. Okay. Professor, you are most welcome to Farafina TV, and you say for your intro, let me kindly introduce yourself and say one, two words before we go into what we should discuss.
All right. First of all, it's my pleasure to be here today, and I'm most grateful for the opportunity to speak with you and with people. And my name is Chris Michaels. You heard, and I came in from issues that we need to work together to fix and to encourage one another, and also ensure that the nation building is enhanced by my presence.
Okay, excuse me. Okay, now. Okay, so right now let us go to your mission and your vision, and maybe have a plan for the bureau. What are you here? What your visitation is all about?
For many years, like I said to you, I'm a fellow of the American College of Physicians and also American Academy of Environmental Medicine Physicians. I also got training in Canada, Germany, and the United Kingdom, for which I got my fellowship of the Royal Society of Public Health Medicine. And because of that, I've been involved in quite a lot of for years in training, in academic training of students, different levels, bachelor's, master's, and PhD levels in different universities all across Europe. And it's afforded me opportunity to have colleagues in different fields. I'm a diplomate in obstetrics and gynecology, and yet got a PhD in immunorespirology. So essentially, in clinical medicine, this is my own field. I've got quite a lot of friends, colleagues, and in different aspects, in different areas of specialties and subspecialties. And that's made me to be able to put together what we call an organization we call Core Medicates Global. Incorporated. And the purpose of what we do with that is that we engage African countries. We've tried that in Burundi, tried out in Togo, Nigeria, and of course expected. The work is going on now, the feasibility work is going on to engage also Kenya and Tanzania in the same regard. One of my colleagues has just arrived, just returned back to Europe from Burkina Faso a couple of weeks ago, making the initial assessment. And so that's why we come together as a coalition under the umbrella of the core Medicaid Global Incorporated. And that same vision we have for Liberia. That same vision we have for Liberia.
Okay, I will just drag you back to the education data, because what I've seen here, it seems to be that he has so many PhDs, so many degrees, and so on. So how did you manage to obtain all of these educational data or educational degree? Because my colleague was telling me 7, 8, and also
well, I hold doctorates in 3 different fields of endeavor. That's doctorate, PhDs. Altogether 18 different doctorates. 18? 18.
Wow.
Different fields. Both starting from architecture to medicine to management to humanities and also linguistics. So different fields of for which over the years, I've been trained degrees and diplomas. So like I said to you, to the very top level. My postdoctorate, I got postdoctorate training of fellow. I'm a fellow postdoctoral fellowship in 8 different postdoctoral fellowship from American College of Medicine, American Academy of Medicine, Environmental Medicine, to International College of Environmental Epidemiologists in Canada, down to Germany. I'm a fellow of the European Federation of International Education, and also a fellow of the postdoctorate fellow also of the Institute of European Environmental Medicine Physicians. So it's been a whole life of training, and at my age, almost 60, you can understand so I've done. I was lucky or fortunate to have been born into an academic family. My twin sister, I'm a twin, is a professor of chemistry and instructional technology. My brothers, the same. I got one of my brothers, 2 master's degree in architecture, another master's in project management, the same fellow. And the junior one to that is got a PhD in information technology, and bachelor's in computer science, master's in computer engineering and all that. The last of us is an accountant and a banker with an MBA. So it's a family of academics. It's what we do. It's my family. So it's, to me, no big deal. That's the most important thing, is to be able to affect the nations, affect populace with every prowess that I got. And that's why we put together Core Medicaid Global, which is intended to assist different nations in that regard. And by the way the Lord God has done it over the years, I've been able to successfully engage different nations in that respect. So the important thing is for Liberia, when I was on my way here, we have meetings, and there I have colleagues, dental surgeons, cardiologists, cardiothoracic surgeon, orthopedic surgeon, and professor. These are all professors, orthopedic surgeon, cardiologists, and also another person in pediatrician, actually, a senior consultant pediatrician. And so different fields of subspecialty medicine, we are able to come together, and the language we use is that we take a month off work and let's go to Africa and spend that 1 month helping the continent of Africa in a positive way, that we can contribute to enhance the health, public health status the nations of Africa. A couple of years ago, I've brought in quite a few things under the same umbrella, like mobile X-ray machines. It's very, very still good. We got cardiac pacemakers for implantation. Those who got third degree or second degree heart block for heart diseases. And we sold several equipments in orthopedic surgery to give the African nations free of charge. All these are free of charge. And in different nations, when we come that way, we sort out our travel expenditure is taken off by us, or we ask for in different nations. They give us somewhere to stay, just somewhere modest to stay, to stay for 2 weeks or 3 weeks thereabout, some small place that we can stay and give us something to eat, and we are ready to work. The dental surgeons will do some up to 60, 70 procedures within 2 weeks. And the heart cases, most difficult cases in surgery, heart surgery, respiratory surgery, whatever, all kind of different fields, orthopedic surgery, whatever, or ENT surgery, we will carry those things out with equipment we brought over from overseas, and to be able to use that all for free. And we got procedures, those among those ophthalmologists do cataract extraction and different procedures, to assist the public and the nation.
Okay. I guess our manager want to interact with you just a minute before we can get back to Liberia economy, because I want for you to talk some little bit about our economy, Liberia as a whole. How do you look at it? But before that, maybe I think the general manager want to chat with you.
All right. Well, I just would like to congratulate our father for what he has been achieved for the African nations, and that is the reason why we have invited him officially to come in our Liberia, the country which is love, is life, even before to be here, and to see for how best we can benefit, your inspection and the generosity of your entity with your colleagues. If the same thing that you have achieved in other countries can be achievable in Liberia. And since 3 days now you've been here, we interact with many exchanges. I think hopefully that is possible. So I think I would like just to know what we need to do in our side in Liberia to make that easier, because I think it will be something which will be highly appreciated by the government through the highest authority of the country, who have one among its priorities to allow and to give the best and better treatment, healthcare to his lovely population. I'm talking about the President of the Republic, Dr. George Manuel, and his entire government. So I know through the National Investment Commission, they will highly appreciate this. So I just would like to know, and at the same time, people who are watching us, to know what needs to be done in our side, Liberian side, to have the same benefit of what you have been implementing in other countries.
Interesting. Basically, like I said before, the essential thing which needs to be done initially, we do carry out. We send maybe 1 or 2 individuals, or maybe 1 person, which will engage, or we will engage the nation in different sectors and different aspects of the economy in doing what we say, what we call initial assessment. We do an public health assessment and understand our education assessment and see what are the facilities. For instance, in the field of education, what are the facilities they got? What are the kind of universities they got? What are the departments available in those universities? What are the departments? What don't they have? What do they have? In the IT, in information technology, or in medicine, in different fields in faculties, in such universities. What are those things that are missing? Go through, like my twin sister would like to do, she does it as far as curriculum survey and assessment is concerned. Know what are the different issues about the curriculum in education, and see what are those areas of training that might be needed to augment or to help in pushing education forward in the nation. So with different polytechnics you got, what are the polytechnics you got, how many universities are there, how many students enrollment yearly, what are those things that are missing, what are the areas or the sectors that are needed, what are the professionals, what are the different fields of profession, career that need to be developed futuristically, planning ahead. In the next 5 years, maybe there will be total need of veterinary doctors, or there will be serious need for computer specialists, or there will be serious need for mathematicians, or whatever. So futuristically, we can, in the same economy, we can look through and say these are in the education sector, these are things that will be seriously in need in the next 4 years, 5 years. And therefore, planning can happen at the moment. You can start identifying those things and plan to solve those problems right now and make contingency plans to achieve those areas of need. That's just education, for instance. The same thing we do for health impact assessment. What are the things that are needed? How many doctors you got for the population per head? How many? Is it one doctor to 250,000 people, or one doctor per 100,000, or one doctor per 10,000? What kind of, how are they coping? We will assess that, and then be able to understand what the health impact assessment, which will be gained by our coming. So we do all this assessment first, and the other areas of the economy, which we talk about: construction, field, housing. What are there acute shortage of houses, and all those kind of things. So we will bring in professionals, engineers, and all that too in that sector. So the first thing what I'd like to do is the initial assessment. And once that is done, then we can now engage the nation properly. Different ministers, like we said, we will be appreciating for the highest level of government to be able to have the opportunity to actually engage and then bring in such as is needed. Since we've done the assessment, we know what is needed in different sectors, then one can now push and then make sure we try to make that coalition to come in answering those needs in those different sectors of the economy. Basically, that's the way we do engage. And we've done it other places, so we want to do that too.
Okay.
I would like to ask one last question,
okay,
since we are interacting. Since Farafina Investment Group among those Liberian companies who are fighting along with the National Investment Commission to promote the investment opportunity in our beloved country, Liberia, and who said investment, all is not about money. I think the biggest and the durable investment is to invest in a human being, which we call human resource, which can facilitate the mobilization of funds after. So I would like to know if there is any possibility through you and to your entity in the medical field and to organize maybe in the near future any collaboration between your entity there and some of the doctor or some of the medical students here going for assessment there or going for training, short-time training, and come back because, as they say, instead of fishing, giving me fish every day, teach me how to fish, and link with your technology and experience, and knowing that even some of your colleagues come down and they will teach people, they will treat people, but in the next 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, we would like to have many Dr. Chris Michael in Liberia too, which can even go to other African countries too. So I think the only plan which can be a real plan for that is to establish a bridge, collaboration bridge between your over there with your technology, with your experience, with your high technology in medical field, with our people here who have their knowledge, who have they already got the knowledge, but they need to upgrade it in that level for which can be even helpful for the country, and people don't need to travel to Belgium now or to overseas for some of the disease, to cure some of the disease, knowing that even they're still getting those let's say those training, but that need to be complete by the equipment. But if you have equipment, no knowledge to use, it's just going to be like less, no useful. So let's get first knowledge. So how, if there is possibility, yes, and how we can establish that bridge. Because of course, I think today or tomorrow, since you've been invited by the National Investment Commission too, they sent the invitation, I think that we are waiting for their reply to give us time, the exact time to receive you, so you can have that. And I know definitely that will be one of the proposals to you, and they're one of their requests, because they're always promoting investment, either financially but to human resources too.
Fantastic, it's splendid. It's good to hear this. Like I said earlier,
so let's get first knowledge. So how, if there is possibility, yes, and how we can establish that bridge. Because of course, I think today or tomorrow, since you've been invited by the National Investment Commission too, they sent the invitation, I think that we are waiting for their reply to give us time, the exact time to receive you, so you can have that. And I know definitely that will be one of the proposal to you, and they're one of their requests, because they're always promoting investment, either financially but to human resources too.
Wow. Fantastic, it's splendid. It's good to hear this, and like I said earlier, the efforts in nation building is primarily must be garnered towards investing in people, and human resources are the most important aspect of the economy to ensure that any economy moves forward. Nation building cannot be complete without first answering the human resource challenges, and that is why we do everything aspect of education and also health, both working hand in hand. A healthy nation is a prosperous nation, and also an informed nation will be a reformed nation. And when you're not informed, you'll be deformed. When you're not informed, you'll be deformed. To be informed is to be deformed. And so when information comes, certainly there will be reform to that nation. So information can only be when there's a transfer, technological transfer, education transfer, scientific approaches and research transfer from one economy to another one. And so what you just said is amazing. I'm very happy to hear it. And therefore, we have done it several times before. We've given scholarship to several Africans out there. We've encouraged Africans to come over, and we help them to secure scholarships to come overseas into Europe, essentially the United States, to study and gain knowledge, and for which they can return and make sure their nations are actually all developed, and contribute to nation building. So we've done that. I've done that personally for the past 20
So it was not
something years.
It was good for me to answer that question, to ask that question. Right?
Oh, well, that's true.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
true. It's something I've done for more than 2 decades.
Wow.
Making sure that the students from different African countries